My name is Brad. I wanted to learn more about music, so I started by building a musical instrument. I learned more about music and the process of playing what I had created. As you hear the sound, you feel the sound waves' deep vibration and vibrant in the range of a cello. I understood all the materials required for the project, and I started with a metal frame. The playing deck design has 3 octaves, like a piano keyboard. Once assembled, the top deck and floor provided a solid framework. I picked up the pipe, fittings, and supplies that I needed to start the project. The first step was to cut and dry fit the components, placing them in the steel frame. We marked each pipe by note along the way. I got 70% complete when I dismantled the framework for finishing. I selected contrasting finish colors for the tubing, but the frame needed to complement the gold and silver piping. The exposed edge finish made it work. The leather fabric was for the playing deck and floor. I used a tone-on-tone effect and created samples that pulled the finishes together. I used a paint and peel process using latex. As you layer the paint and peel off the rubber, the layers are uncovered, then color washing to provide depth in the finish. I ironed out the leather fabric and applied it to the floor and top playing deck. Then I reassembled the unit. The eased edge on the top of the deck highlighted the steel frame. As the steel frame was complete, we set it aside for the finished tubing. The finishing process gave me the appearance of aging pipe. To get the look, it took 7 steps to achieve the finish that I wanted. To complete the 36 notes, I used 138 feet of pipe and 238 fittings. One of the steps in the finishing process is using spray adhesive on the surface. Then dusting texture on the surface gave it a pitted look under the finished paint. The deep, rich mottled gold and the silver of aged galvanized texture worked. The painting process is the most labor-intensive. It was time-consuming for the final installation of the tubing. Once I started, I found a workflow. Then finishing and installation ran smoothly. It took 7 cycles to complete the finish before the installation. A lot was going on at the same time. I installed a group of finished notes and dry fitting several unfinished notes that were next to be painted. I completed the finishing of the top assemblies. The top assemblies were painted in a matte finish, and I eased the edges for more detail. Now the top bodies would secure the pipes to the playing deck. I could make any final adjustments by lining up the tubes below. With the pipe secured to the playing deck, I was still adjusting and preparing for tuning. It was important not to glue the last tube so I could easily make any final adjustments. I put myself on the hook the day I started the project. All the work would not mean anything if I didn't play it. I discovered the musical range by playing for hours over the next several months. I was on the hook for what happened next. I was on the hook to play. We put some songs together with a few friends. Some final touch-ups and tuning. It had been about 6 months since I picked up the materials, and about 4 months to finish. We're lucky. Playing is at the heart of the work.